Good morning from Billings, Montana. It's pretty early here, maybe an hour before dawn, and I couldn't sleep anymore, so I just decided to get up and check out what's new on YouTube. But I thought maybe I would make a quick little testimonial video about something that occurred when I pulled in last night. I got in about 9 o'clock, a little bit after dark, and went up into my room at the Crown Plaza Hotel, threw my bags in here. This hotel is right in downtown Billings. Um, Threw my bags in my room, went back downstairs, asked the concierge where is the nearest grocery store because I was hungry and I wanted to get some, it was already starting to get late, so I wanted to get some snacks and some eats and, some stuff for the room. Um, So he told me there's a grocery store about 3 blocks north of the hotel. So I started walking, and as it turns out, between um, the hotel and the grocery store, there's also a bar slash club. And it just happens that this is the St. Patrick's Day weekend. St. Patrick's Day is Monday, but people were celebrating or were drinking like it's St. Patrick's Day last night, Friday, and I expect them to be doing the same tonight. And so the club was hopping, and it was spilling out. The party was spilling out into their parking lot as well. So there was like a lot of noise and ruckus and stuff going on. A lot of energy in the air, and I myself was pretty energized because I'd been in the car for about 9 hours and my body was buzzing, and I hadn't been able to expend any energy. So as I'm walking, at a good clip, a good pace, and I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling like finally I get to release some energy. I'm walking. There's a lot of drunk people around though, and not only from the bar itself, but just there's just some like addicts and stuff on the street, and I was passing people and smiling and waving, saying hello and this kind of thing, just acting like I normally do, and I passed a couple of different small groups of people in the 3 blocks that it took to get to the grocery store. And one of the groups that I passed, it was just the block before the grocery store, and it was 3 guys and 2 girls, and they were just they weren't from the club. They were just drunk, addict type people hanging out on that block. Anyway, I go in the store. I go shopping. Um, I just buy, some snacks. I got like some pistachios and some beef jerky, and just something that I can not not really healthy food, but just something that I can snack on in my hotel room. Because I was hungry. I didn't want to eat at their restaurant because I know they're going to be overpriced, right? And I didn't want to eat at the Burger King down the road either because that's really bad food. So I just figured I'd get a placeholder, and then today I'd find some real food. Anyway, so I buy my stuff. I got 2 little grocery bags um, with some snacks and stuff, and I come out of the store, start walking down the road. The group that I had passed um, on my way with the 3 guys and the 2 girls were still there in the same spot where I left them, and it hadn't been long. Um, so but they were between me and the hotel, and I didn't get a really a good feeling from them on my way through the first time, and probably if I was um, really being careful, I would just chose a different route when I saw them on the sidewalk as I started my way back. There was a point where I had to, cross the street to get onto the block that they're on, and I could easily, moved over one block and went completely around this group of people. But I was feeling good. I was feeling, I was feeling like I was getting a release. I was getting a little bit of exercise, getting out and walking, and I, totally confident that nobody's going to bother me. Um, and even if they did, then they're, asking for trouble because I haven't even had a workout today, and I'm feeling like I want to release some energy. Um, this kind of thing where I'm just like all caution was pretty much thrown to the wind, and in that sense, it was kind of stupid. Like I didn't have to walk back past this group, and even as I was approaching them, I crossed the street and I started in their direction. I could see that the guys were kind of like they were checking me out as I was approaching, and they were getting ready for me to come by them. Um, and I figured, given the constituency, that they're probably gonna like ask me for some money or something like that, because they're just kind of low on their luck. Young addicts, and so this is what I expected of them. I expected them to try to like prompt me to give them some money or something like that. Not that anything dangerous was going to occur or something like that, but I should have been smarter. Really, I should have just walked around, gone around the other block, and not walk past these guys on the sidewalk. Their little group of five was pretty much taking up the whole sidewalk, and the first time they let me through, and they gave me eyeball and stuff like that, but they didn't say nothing to me or what have you. um, but the second time through, I could see them getting prepared. Would have been the smarter idea would have been for me to avoid them, but feeling good and feeling cocky at the same time, I decided to go through them. This time, they didn't want to let me through. As I approached, one of the guys purposely stepped out into, the path that I was going to use to go through them. Stepped in front of me and said, "Hey." At the same time he did this, one of the other guys next to him reached out and grabbed my neck. It wasn't a strong grab, but he touched me, right? Um, my response was just to sidestep one step, which pulled me out of range of the guy that grabbed my neck. It also helped me go around this guy who had stood in front of me. I had to step off the curb onto the street to walk around this group, and I said, "What the fuck is your problem?" As I did this, right? It was all really really fast. Hey, guy walked. Hey, and then I was already moving. The guy had already touched me. I was already going around the group, saying, "What the fuck is your problem?" And I just kept walking. I could have easily got in a fight right there, like really easily. I was amped up from the long drive, and um, I was feeling good. The only thing, probably that like I would have probably um, treated the situation a little bit different if I didn't have a broken finger. I had a broken finger, so this is in my consciousness. I don't really want to get in a fight with a broken finger on my strong hand. So I wanted to avoid the fight, and I should have wanted to avoid a fight anyway. And if I really wanted to avoid a fight, I should not have tried to go through them. I just should have exercised intelligent caution and went a block and went around. But that was my bad move. My good move, I think, was not getting in a fight. I walked around. I continued walking. They did not pursue me. If they did, something would have had to go down. I because they're addicts, and I'm sure they were high at the time. Um, Even though there was 3 guys and 2 girls, I think I could have handled myself in the situation. Like, there was never a point where I felt an adrenaline lift or any fear or anything like that, which is good. I mean, that's good. And I think that confidence is coming from the training that I've been doing the last few years. When I'm in a period where I haven't been training, if something like that were to happen to me, I would have probably a heightened fear response, or something like that. But I had none of that. There was no fear response, but there was my instinct in the moment was to avoid a fight, and I think that's good. In the moment, I wish that instinct had kicked in a little bit earlier, and I had avoided putting myself in a dangerous situation altogether, because you never know. I mean, maybe these guys had knives. These guys could have totally jacked me up. They could have been like, all right, this guy just went to the store. He's obviously got money in his pockets and stuff. We didn't know this the first time he walked past, but clearly this dude has some money, and we need some more of whatever the fuck we're getting high on, and so let's jack this dude up. It could have been a bad situation, and it's the kind of situation that could have been completely avoided, because I was aware of them. I could have went around, and I could have done it in a way that they wouldn't have even noticed, if I was being really smart. And so that's hopefully the lesson I'm going to take away from this is not to be so bold, walking around just assuming that nothing's going to happen to me, assuming that, I really do, I assume the good nature in people. I don't expect to be attacked, and I should be more expecting of that. Not that I want to always feel like I'm in danger or anything like that, but I could have just made the smart moves. I didn't going into it. Once I was in the situation, I think I made the right move. Why do I think that I made the right move? Is because I didn't get in a fight. Nobody got hurt. They didn't get hurt. I didn't get hurt. There was no fight. There was nothing. Maybe there was something in the way I carried myself that told these guys not to pursue it. Something in my tone of voice, who knows, but they didn't pursue it beyond that initial attempt to confront me and me just maneuvering around them. But yeah, I didn't know. There's no telling what could have been going on. These guys might have box cutters or something. It's not uncommon for people to be carrying box cutters and knives, this kind of thing. And there's 5 of them. I'm even going to include the 2 girls because it's stupid to assume that they wouldn't get in on it if I had to start fighting with even, the couple of guys or whatever. So, long story short, I think I learned a lesson, reminder not to be so naive as to think that nobody's going to try to do me any harm. make the smart moves when I'm aware of a dangerous situation. Don't just walk right into the dangerous situation. That's dumb. Um, However, when the dangerous situation is there, um, at that moment, I think everything went okay because I didn't get hurt. Nobody got hurt. I didn't have a fear response or anything like that where um, where it might have made me it might have slowed me down or something like that. I didn't have um, any kind of a problem like that. I mean, adrenaline can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing. You know, it makes you shaky. It makes you, yeah. It also hops you up for the fight. But you know, unless the fight is going down, I don't want that rush. I don't want that rush. So I was glad that that didn't happen, um, and that I didn't engage when provoked, and went around these guys. Went back to my hotel. Um, like I was saying, if I didn't have the broken finger, I might have responded differently. I might have responded the same. I have no idea how I would have responded, but this was on my mind. Try not to fight because you're going to have to fight with the broken finger. So that was my experience pulling into Billings, Montana. My cousin came to visit me a few minutes later after I got back to my hotel. Maybe a half hour later, she brought me some pizza and told me that 3 blocks is probably the worst 3 blocks in Billings. She lives here. So that's the story and that's the lesson. Hopefully somebody gets something worthwhile out of my experience.